Welcome to Season 2, Episode 5 of the Georgian Surrogacy Podcast. I'm Liz Tripodi. Together with me is my partner in all things surrogacy, Anita Fiorenza.
Hello, everyone.
Now, you will hear a baby crying in the background. She is 3 or 4 days old now. So we're coming to you this episode from Tbilisi, Georgia. We're together again. It's a bit of a surreal feeling, I must tell you, because the last time we were both here was 4 years ago when we were awaiting the birth of our first children, and now we're here, and Anita and her husband and their daughter have just had their second daughter, Annabelle. Shh. Plus we have a 4-year-old who's doing
Dot
to dot. And right in front of me, ladies and gentlemen, I can't even express to you how I'm feeling, and I'm not even the mother. But I'm looking at this beautiful 4-day-old baby girl. Her name is Madison Rose. She is the most perfect little girl that you could possibly ever imagine. She's just been fed. She is just so healthy, so beautiful, so content. And Anita, congratulations.
Thank you. It's hard to believe that I'm getting a congratulations and that I have a daughter in my hands. Every time I hear someone else mentioning her name, it sounds quite surreal that I have another daughter and we named her Madison. So, yeah.
It's, you know, we're going to do the next episode we're going to do is actually going to be all about the birth story. But so this episode we're going to chat just generally about, we're both back in Tbilisi. Anita's been here. This week will be 2 weeks since they've been here. So we're currently sitting in Anita's apartment. I'm jet lagged still because I only got here yesterday. And today is probably the biggest date in the Georgian calendar in 4 years. It is Georgian election day. It is going to be a very difficult election for many Georgians because they're hoping to be able to join the EU with a new change of government, which is what the majority of Georgians seem to want. The current government are not in favour of that. Well, they sort of are, but, you know, when it suits them, which will probably be never. So Georgians are very, very passionate today. It's very busy out there. The area that we're staying in is very close to Chichava Clinic. We're pretty much just across the road.
100-metre walk.
So, Anita, it's funny, this time when you guys got discharged out of hospital this time, you just casually walked out and just walked across the road to your apartment.
I had the baby carrier strapped on and we just carried our bags out and off we went.
While I sip on my coffee. Now, my first point of call when I got here yesterday was, of course, to come and see you straight away. And I was so impressed by the new birthing suites at Chichava and, you know, a perfect space for a family while you're in the hospital for a couple of days. But let's take it back. You got here almost 2 weeks ago. How did you feel stepping onto Georgian soil again for the first time?
Well, it was night when we got here. It was night time. I have to say we got in and Anthony was a little bit under the weather. He had how do I say it?
He's got arthritis.
Is it like gout?
Yeah.
Yeah, so I'll go into the medical conditions of my husband on this since we always talk about me. So we came from Dubai and we were a little bit exhausted with Annabelle, and I'd been carrying a toddler for 4 days is quite difficult. So we didn't come with a pram or anything. And she's, you know, quite capable of walking, but she just decided against that the whole way. And they took one look at us and said, go to the front of the line, because I had a husband and all these suitcases and my daughter. And then finally, I think our lift was a little bit disappointed that we were 2 hours late and we hadn't let him know. So he was tired. Everyone was grumpy, dropping us off at our apartment, and then we couldn't find the entrance. We couldn't find the key, and everyone was really,
Over it.
Over it is the word I'm looking for. I think it was quite late at night. It was midnight when we got in. So you're trying to get into an Airbnb when you don't have any WhatsApp connected, because we didn't get a Georgian SIM until the next day.
So while we're on the topic of Georgian SIMs, let me tell you what I've done on this trip. I actually set up roaming with my Australian provider, and it's been very patchy since I got here. So what I did this morning was I actually brought, there's a company called Airolo, and it's an app. You download it to your phone, and you can buy SIM packages from every country. What are they called? eSIMs from every country. So this morning I bought myself the Georgian eSIM, working like a charm. I'm only here for a week, so I paid, I think, $7 for the week. I got 2 gig of data and 3 gig of data, more than enough, because, Wi-Fi here is so quick anyway.
Yes.
And now I installed it this morning. It was working a minute later, and that's what I'm going to do from now on, because the Australian telco providers they're very patchy when it comes to connecting with Georgia under a roaming network. Of course, you can buy a local SIM if you're here for a lot longer, and, they're very cheap, but that's what I've done this trip. So
yeah, so it depends, I guess, on what time your flight is and when you're coming in. Ideally, you'd want to probably do it the next day or within the first 2 days of getting here if you're getting a Georgian SIM. But trying to get hold of your Airbnb host at that hour and get a key to get in. So while my husband was...
These biscuits are delicious, by the way.
I've got to serve you. You're in my apartment.
The Wogway.
So while my husband was screaming and yelling in a corridor, trying to find the entrance, I decided to say, "Koma joba," to the next person on the street.
Like, "Gama joba," means hello, everybody.
Use my Georgian, and I asked a lady, I gave her my broken English, and she actually spoke English, and I told her, "We're here from Australia, please help me." And my husband came down, and we did a little bit of, asked a few questions here and there, and before you knew it, she was on her WhatsApp and calling our Airbnb host, and then she was letting us in. She found the lockbox upstairs.
And that, and that's the Georgian friendly way.
Yeah.
Everyone here, they just want to help. They may not look friendly when you approach them, but my goodness, they're such friendly people once you...
Oh, yeah. She was lovely. She gave me her phone number. She told me she's my neighbour. If I need anything, just to let her know, and she'll help me with anything I need while I'm staying here. I really only needed her to help me get into the house at midnight. And that was it. She was lovely. There you go. There's your Oreos. And we do have Oreos in Georgia, by the way.
And milk or chocolate, which I'll be bringing home for hubby.
Oh.
So I got in yesterday morning. Flight landed at 5 a.m. Got picked up by T'Chava's lovely driver in the new black van, which is a bit special. 15 minutes from the airport to the hotel. Like I said, I'm right in the heart of the city. And we worked this out pretty good, Anita and I, because we're literally, her apartment and my hotel are literally a 1 minute walk away from each other, which is brilliant. So, went and saw Anita yesterday. When I got out of the airport, though, I had every Georgian man coming up to me and saying, "You want taxi, you want taxi." And, of course, I had already, had a pre-arranged ride. You can get money at the airport, but I never worry about it. I just wait till I get into town. If I need to use an ATM, I will. But, card works everywhere here. I'd heard already pre-set up my Bolt and Wolt and Glovo apps before I'd left home. So they're your apps for, rides, like the equivalent of Uber and Uber Eats and DoorDash and Menulog, those sort of things. So I did all that. Annabelle, would you like to say hello to everybody that's listening?
Yes.
Say hello.
Yeah.
And how old are you?
I know.
How old? How old? Oh.
This is dirty
Oh,
now.
can you pick it up? and we'll go and wash the dummy. Good girl. What I did notice when I woke up yesterday, I felt like it was a Georgian of a different feel. Obviously for us, for both Anita and I, last time we were here was COVID. Most things were closed. We were in lockdown. So, you know, coming back was like a bit of a different city. It feels very vibrant. Apparently they've had a mega tourist season over summer. I was talking to the hotel. They were at capacity the entire summer. There's so many new buildings, so many new hotels. It feels, I don't know if you feel this, but it feels cleaner than last time. And I've always said that Georgia is a clean city, but it feels cleaner this time. What do you think?
I feel like the city's more alive.
Yeah,
definitely.
and the air feels clearer.
Yes. It was very, like, there was a lot of smog over the city.
Yeah.
And it was a really polluted.
And we're here at the same time, like we're here. It's October.
Yeah.
But I just feel like the air's really clean.
Yes, definitely.
And we're back 6 hours later. We had to take a pause in recording due to a very noisy 4-year-old who was getting just a little bit excited. But my goodness, what a massive 6 hours it has been between recording, because we just got word about an hour ago that Mrs. Anita Fiorenza has been announced as the winner of the Surrogacy Person of the Year at the Australian Surrogacy and Donor Awards Night Gala held in Sydney. My darling, congratulations.
Thank you so much.
It was so you became a finalist. We knew that about 3 weeks ago, and there's so many worthy people doing amazing things in Australia in the surrogacy scene, and you were nominated initially in the Victorian category, but then you were bumped up to Surrogacy Person of the Year. I was very privileged to be one of the people that wrote I would think, a nice little blurb about what you've done over the last 5 to 6 years. How do you feel?
I think just grateful that so many people are recognising the work and what the surrogacy community is now. It's not so much about me, it's about what I represent.
Well, up until the last year, you know, everything that you've been doing was completely volunteering your time and your energy. And, you know, growing families are extremely lucky to have you as concierge support for clients right around the world. It's an absolute honour. And, you know, it doesn't matter what people think about awards. You know, every industry has awards. But I think the most important thing to take from this is that any awareness that surrogacy, anything, more awareness, and especially in Australia, is a good thing. Don't you agree?
Yeah, and I had a lot of people in the community nominate me for different reasons. It wasn't just about Australian surrogacy, but I think it was just bringing the awareness about surrogacy in general, whether it be overseas surrogacy, even just letting them know that surrogacy is something available to them, bringing light to their journey.
Absolutely. And also I think a very important take in the work that you do is that you work with single people, you work with married couples, you work with the LGBTQI couples.
Yeah.
And so there's so much available across different countries around the world that if you want to have a family, it truly is possible.
Yeah. It's real diverse in what stage of the journey that I can connect with a couple, like not just from the beginning, but also helping people, bring people home back to Australia, supporting them even just for the middle stage of their journey, and linking them with information. So it's a real joy just to be able to get to know different couples and what they need.
Yeah, that's fantastic. So let's take it back a step for what we were talking from a few hours ago. We were talking about when you guys arrived in Tbilisi this time, and I know that you put the call out in the group a few weeks back, what can we do with a toddler in Tbilisi? Because, of course, coming back with a family is a very different thing than coming for the first time, awaiting your first child if you've never been parents before. Even for me, I've been walking around the city this afternoon and I'm seeing things in fresh eyes. And, of course, the shops that I'm going into are not for myself anymore. It's, what can I get the girls? What souvenirs can I get the girls? What can I bring home for the girls?
Well, this is a very different journey, like what you're saying. We're not here just for our newborn. We're also here to entertain Annabelle and to bring her back to her roots.
Yeah.
We came a little bit earlier. We knew we were going to be here hopefully before the birth, and that would give us time to get grounded, be familiar, and hopefully find things for Annabelle to do in case she's bored or she just needs to get out of the apartment. Myself, I actually didn't know many places I could take Annabelle to keep her busy and to keep her occupied, because a lot of things were closed. I knew of a few parks. I know like the common areas where people have been.
Yeah.
There's a lot of changes in Georgia. Businesses have reopened. A lot of places were closed when we were here. It was a bit of a ghost town.
Yeah.
And, Tbilisi Zoo, for example, I know it. I know, driven past it many times. I've never been in there. It was on my checklist of things to do.
Yeah. But, of course, you didn't know how much time you were going to have as well.
Yeah.
You could have had one day. You could have had 2 days, and you ended up having... What?
2 weeks,
yeah,
2
almost,
weeks?
Yeah.
2 weeks of downtime, and like every day we could do an activity.
Which is perfect.
Yeah.
You were really lucky in that respect, that you got to get over the jet lag, you got to get yourself set up. So what did you do?
Okay, so, well, the first thing I did was once we got here, got settled, got unpacked, walked around the street a little bit. We decided, I did actually, I just want to say, I don't know everything myself. I can be an expert in my field, but and I've been to Georgia already twice, but yeah. I don't know where all the places are to take a toddler. So what did I do? I put a post out to to my Facebook group, and then your Facebook group, which is the one that we used to admin together.
Yep.
And a lot of people might have seen that and responded, and people I know who have done past journeys sent me all the familiar places that I know of and sort of re-jogged my memory, but gave me good ideas on top of that, and I kind of made a list of what I was going to do for the next 2 weeks, and started with maybe the ones like Tbilisi Zoo, Matasminda Park, those sorts of places that I wouldn't go with a baby.
Yeah.
And the ones that I need to go and explore for the ones that we would go back to again
of course.
When we have the baby and we want to get out and about with Annabelle.
Yeah.
Whether we have a nanny or we don't have a nanny, I needed to sort of, get my head around that. But, I started with, was it Tbilisi Zoo? I think that was the first one.
Or was it Matsminda Park you went to first?
That was second.
Ah.
Yeah. Tbilisi Zoo. Like no other. I have always wanted to go there, actually. So I'm quite glad I never went there before without a toddler, because I would never go back. I don't think it would have been as fun.
Yep.
It's kind of like a bit of a downer. But we saw it in a different light with my child.
Of course.
They don't see it how we see it. And all I could think about was, the first part we saw the monkey enclosure. And I'm sure if people are going to go back and see, I've been collecting images on the highlights page of my Facebook, so it might be a little bit more fun if you go back and retrack this. But the monkey enclosure, we walked straight up to it and it was like, monkeys, water, like electric fence, and it was just like they don't put much into it there, and there was no zookeepers much anywhere.
I think we're really lucky because we've got one of the best zoos in the world at home.
We must have.
We do. I think it's in the top 5.
Is it?
And I think San Diego Zoo is number 1 in the world, but I'm pretty sure Melbourne Zoo is like top 3 or top 5.
Well, I really have a new appreciation for the greenery and the fauna and everything that goes into how the uptake of a zoo and what they do.
And it's interesting too because Tbilisi as a city is very green.
Yes.
But the zoo's not.
No. And there's, like what my husband was saying earlier,
Is that the place with the toilet or was that Matsminda Park?
Well, it's very hard to find proper toilets when you go to the public places in Tbilisi.
You know what I noticed too? Today at Galleria at the shopping centre, and I didn't realise that they're now charging to go to the toilet. Did you know that?
No, I'm glad you told me.
Yeah, they're now charging to go to the toilet.
So take note, during this podcast you might hear a few things. So toilets in the zoo and those public places, if you're travelling with toddlers, it's not very easy when you have a little one out of nappies, because Annabelle will never wear a nappy now. She's been out of them for 2 years.
Yep.
And it's a lot of walking, and they do have the public toilet sort of halfway as you're walking, and when you finally get to it and you think, oh great, there's a toilet, let's go have a look, and it's like an old toilet block, and you go in and there's the holes in the ground, the squatting ones, which are dirty. And
that really surprises me because it is such a clean city and the sanitation system and everything is really good. So when you told me about that, I was...
it was not so much me. It was more my daughter, because she said, Mummy, I'm not doing that. And she understood straight away as a 4-year-old to see the toilet. And she's like, I'm not, Mummy, no. And so the poor little thing crossing her legs and, clutching at herself the whole way for the whole day. And then every time she got to, they have a lot of outdoorsy soft play areas.
Okay.
And they charge like 1 lari or 4 lari to play in those areas.
Okay.
And then she wanted to stop at every single one, but we could have stayed the whole day, but it was really like, come on, you have to go to a toilet. And I was really worried about her well-being.
Yeah, of course.
Holding on to it.
All right, so let's skip the zoo. What did you do next?
Okay, because we could talk all day about each and every animal, but I do want to say the camel's back was broken and the elephant had dementia for sure.
Oh.
Yeah.
I've never known elephants.
Did you not? Oh, I don't know. I'm just saying the way it was rocking back and forth, and they only have one elephant, and I've always known elephants to be in a little herd. And
yep.
Look, I've only ever been to Melbourne Zoo, right, or to the one in Australia, and around Australia, I've been to zoos where there's always more than one elephant.
Okay.
But it's a little bit of a sad, happy place.
Okay.
And by the end of the day, we were used to it, and we were like...
Well, when we bring the girls next year, I'm not going to Tbilisi Zoo.
Oh, it was fun for the kids. It's just hard, It's a hard place.
Yeah, yeah.
So then we went to Matsminda. Well,
this is where I used to live.
Yeah. Is it?
Yeah, that was where I used to live, next door to Parliament.
Oh, okay. I didn't know that it was called that where we were. But anyway... So we went by my pronunciation is always different to yours.
It is.
Funicular. Funicular.
And you should know that word.
Yeah. Okay.
You know why you should know that word?
Because I'm Italian and
Correct.
they've got one, yeah.
Funicular, yeah?
All right. So So we went by the funicular.
Yep.
Up the mountain. Excellent experience for kids. We enjoyed it. You buy the ticket at the bottom, and there's a little park before you get on.
Yep.
And Annabelle loved that.
Photos looked amazing.
Oh, yeah, the photos. It's nice. You can see the whole city.
Yeah, it looked beautiful.
It was a drizzly day. It would have been nice on a clear, sunny day.
Mm-hmm.
Although I kind of liked it. If it's really hot, walking around up there.
Oh, it would have been too hot.
Yeah.
Because Tbilisi in summer's hot.
Yeah, and it's not. I thought it was small. I expected it to be kind of small. You go up there, but it's not. It's actually spread out around the mountain, and you kind of like walk the trails to all the different places.
Okay.
And it's just beautiful because, you know, you get to different things.
Yeah.
Like there was this illusion. I really liked it. It was like an illusion mirror.
Okay.
That you go through and you have to feel your way around. Even Annabelle got stuck a few times. And, you know, it's a maze. And every time I tried to go through, the lady that we paid, she kept coming back saying, go back, you've come back to the start again. I'm like, how hard can this be? Just to find my way through this.
Only you could get lost in a maze.
Yeah, well, it's a mirror, like it's an illusion. So you can't see forward or back. It's in the dark, and you have to feel your way around. And
that'd be no good for me with my eyesight.
It's actually very claustrophobic, dark, and you see only the reflection of the angles of the mirror.
Oh, okay.
Very interesting. And Annabelle was going a bull out of the gates, and then she got lost, and she was worried she couldn't see me because of the reflections. It was very tricky.
Okay.
And then even I was I kept going back to the start again.
Okay.
The lady was going, no, go back in. So I was like, oh. Anyway, so that was actually one of my favourite things that we did up there. Couldn't take any video. She wouldn't allow me to video that. I don't even know how I would be able to. And then there was this sort of mountainy thing where we found the stray dogs. We found some little stray puppies up there.
And there are a lot of stray dogs in Georgia.
Stray dogs, yes.
Yeah.
But normally they've been, what do you call it? Snipped.
Ah, okay,
Yeah, by a volunteer group, I believe.
Okay.
So we found puppies up there in amongst all the bushes.
Okay.
I've got it on video again. But, going around in circles there's a dinosaur park. There's like a games area where you can play different games, collect, you know, the kids can do different.
Okay.
It's like I don't know, not everyone's from Melbourne, or Australia, but there's like a lunar park. It's like a
little theme park.
But a carnival area with games and rides. Yep. They've got the big rides, you know, the ones that are scary for the bigger kids. Okay. It's amazing what you can find up there, and you can spend the whole day easily. Yep. Roller coasters.
How's the toilet situation?
You need to go to the restaurant. So when you go back down where you get off near the funicular, there is toilets in those restaurants. Again, I believe you might need to sort of pay and eat to be able to use them. I'm not 100% sure. But, you know, after the zoo, we were pretty geared up to just hold it the whole day.
Yep.
And none of us were keen on using a toilet anyway. And you just have to look very hard to find toilets.
Okay.
We had fun. Like, we thought it was somewhere we would go again, and you can take a pram up there. We thought people with prams along the road parts, like the paths with the roads. And there's lots of eating places. When you're walking around, you can buy snacks. You can catch a bolt up there.
Okay.
Or even a bus. There's a little bus depot. So you don't have to go up the funicular to get there. But we had such a great time.
That's awesome.
It was just a really great family day out.
Beautiful.
And then next we tried Magic Land.
Okay.
And that is at... that one was at City...
Is it at City Mall?
City Mall,
okay.
I believe, if I'm not getting confused. There's a few different ones. Like at Galleria, there's another soft play area.
Okay. I saw it. I actually walked past it.
Yeah. And it's got... A lot of them are quite good. They have trampolines.
It was a bit like Time Zone too, that one,
they're like time zone, and they have the all the balls and the ball pit and the slides. But what is interesting about these places is that they are you don't just take your kids in there, take their shoes off, and then you take them in. They've actually got the attendees in there.
And that's the same, you know what, Greece is like that too, and I love that.
Yeah.
I love that because, you know, it does give the parents a little bit of a break if you need one or just want to sit there and watch instead of having to be entertaining them all the time.
Yeah, and I think for the different sections you have to pay, like depends on where they go. Like you get the card.
Okay.
And you top up the card with the money and then you tap wherever they go. But they charge you, like if you want to go on the trampolines, it's timed for an hour.
Ah, okay.
They put a little wristband on and it says the time that they can go in.
Yep.
And then if they want to go on the ball pit, like that section might cost
Were all
something.
these places busy? Was there a lot of people around or?
Kind of, yeah. Like it wasn't quiet at all. It was busy. I mean, when we got to the the one at Galleria, Annabelle wouldn't go and play by herself. So it was all go and she was like, no. So we just left.
Yep.
And then we went to the Magic Land place and that was a little bit better.
Okay.
But she's at that stage where she's realised she's been away from home.
Yeah.
And she wants her friends to play with her. And she's said to me, like, Mummy, where are my friends? I don't want to play without my friends. And so she's more interested in just playing on those, you know, in time zone where they have the games.
Yeah.
And so that requires more of our one-on-one. You know, I would love for her to go on a trampoline and just go on 15 minutes of jumping and bouncing and using all your energy. So we are getting to that stage now because she's starting to get used to being here without all of her friends.
Yeah. But hopefully you won't be here too long and, you know, you'll be able to, you know, get home and she'll be able to get back into her normal routine and things like that. So where else would you go apart from that?
So we went to, because of that, like, I just want her to burn some energy and I want her to sort of get used to playing in a playground like she would at kindergarten.
Yeah, yep.
So I've been trying to find some outdoor activities and nice outdoor parks.
Yep.
So I recall where we stayed across from the government house, there was those nice paved areas. And parks.
With all the flower gardens.
Where the flower
like
garden is, the flower market. Yep. There's two different parks there. One's bigger than the other. So I went, Anthony wanted to go to the Carrefour and we thought we'll get up and go and have some breakfast and coffee, take her to the park.
Yep.
And we kind of make that like a weekly thing where we just get a Bolt.
Yep.
And she goes and has plays in the playground.
Yep.
But I do find she doesn't play as long as what she might because she gets bored not having friends.
Yeah.
You know, and there's only so long you can push her on a swing or it's starting to get a bit dewy and rainy in the morning.
Today is quite cold.
Yeah. So mornings can be good to get out of the apartment and then in the afternoon she likes to go for a walk and get her ice cream.
Yep.
But these are the things that we were doing for the first 2 weeks, which has been good, but other than that, I really don't. Oh, we went to the petting zoo. So
okay.
Yeah. So one of the other great things I've found here, and up at Matasminda, there's they have this little zoo. A walk through petting zoo.
Okay.
And the animals are just beautiful. They were so beautiful. I would actually just go up there to go to the zoo again.
What sort of animals did they have?
They had a ram. They had like there was a monkey and they tell you before you go in, do not touch the monkey.
Okay.
But everything else you can touch. They have little chickens, they have ducks, hens, these great big guinea pigs. Everything's so friendly for the kids to sort of touch, and they have hedgehogs, which is strange. Like, you know, they have the fish, they have everything.
Nice.
Cows, goat.
How did you find the cost of these activities compared to what we pay at home?
You would pay a lot more to go to a pet. Like, isn't it the Collingwood farm? And then you've got those other ones scattered around the suburbs. Sometimes they're around $20 to maybe $50 to get in.
Yep.
But I think they were just like 4 lari or...
Which is what?
And then you just pay like...
$1.
Yeah, literally $1.
Yep.
Per person.
Yep.
And then you pay another like one lari for the food, and you get a great big container.
Yep.
Of food to feed the animals, and you can keep getting the food as much as you like.
Oh, that's good.
The one up at Madisminda was much cheaper. Then if you go to Tbilisi
Mall. Yep.
which is it's about 20 minutes away.
Yep.
By car, like Bolt.
Yeah.
And we went there because there was a petting zoo. Well, we heard there was a petting zoo, and it's called Zoo Logica or something.
Okay.
Yeah, it's on the top floor near the food court. So I just think it's funny. They have a petting zoo and they have all these animals up there.
In the middle of the food court.
Yeah, like just past the food court. It's kind of weird. But anyway, it was a little bit more expensive, and they had less animals. But there were some different animals in there.
Okay.
And she spent quite a few hours just walking around, and she was getting, for $1, you get like food.
Okay.
And you keep just getting more food and more food. So I like some of the animals. I really like they have these massive goldfish that are, I can't describe how big they are, but you give them a baby bottle.
Okay.
They have the water and like these fish food in there, and then you try and feed them, and they're so big that
a big goldfish.
Yeah.
How big is this fish?
Oh, like I don't know.
I mean,
the size of the laptop over there. That's how big, like size of your handbag.
Do they have goldfish that are that big?
Yeah, I'm not kidding.
Really?
Yes.
I've never known.
No, and it feeds out of a baby's bottle,
Oh
like not a small baby's bottle.
Okay, I need to research this because
it's on my Facebook. I did videos of everything. It's on. You need to go through and look. And Annabelle gave the fish the baby's bottle, the fish snatched it from her hand, and she freaks out.
Oh my goodness!
Yeah, it's. I freaked out at the strength of this fish.
Oh God!
and then she was just drip feeding it. She was like,
Poor thing could have had nightmares over this mega fish that she was bottle feeding.
It's not just the fish; it's the mouth on the fish was like big. I don't go fishing. I'm not a fisher.
Oh my God.
I don't go fishing, but these activities were quite. Like they're good fun I almost forgot I was here for waiting for a baby is what I'm trying to say. We were here like for Annabelle, keeping her entertained. And then along the way, I was like, well, when is the baby coming?
And I've got to say, you were so calm pre-birth, and even now after birth, you are so calm. It really has been a different kettle of fish this time. You just, you're not like, oh my God, what do I do? Oh, she's crying. What's wrong? Or, you're just a natural. You just got it. Both of you, all three of you, actually. It's like, it's so beautiful to watch, but on the same hand, it's quite, it's almost funny because, last time, you were used to getting a tiz about everything, all the small things, and oh no, what do I pack? What I need to buy this? I need to get this. I need to get this, and this time you're like, it doesn't matter. Yeah. It's fine. Whatever.
Yeah, everything. Like actually, I was just telling you before, wasn't I? Look, I'm not gonna. I shouldn't say this because it's on a podcast. How do I get around it? I bought bottles.
Oh, that's okay.
But I don't want to I'm not name shaming or anything.
No. So you brought these bottles that you saw on the internet.
Yeah.
Basically.
Yes.
That cost you a lot of money.
They did. They cost.
And they're not a name brand.
No, I don't know if they are. They were a new Australian brand.
Yeah.
Right. Probably shouldn't say anything else, which is great. They're great. I think they're a great.
And they'll work for some babies.
Yeah, they will. Yeah, but not for me at all. Not for me. So I should have just got the traditional bottles that like
Avent or Philips or Tommy TP or the standard type ones. However, we never used any of them. I would use the European ones, as you know, Swavenex. I was a bit posh.
Yeah. Which is you've gone and got me one now, and I've gone and got the Avent. So I'm just testing different brands at the moment.
Because you have to. You go through It's no guarantee if you buy a whole heap of bottles that your child is going to like those bottles. So I'm always telling everybody, do not go and spend a whole heap of money on a brand of bottle and buy everything that comes with it when your baby after the first feed or first day might be like, I ain't liking this bottle.
Well, this is what happened to me. So the first trip I bought a whole set of bottles and it all went well. So I was like, why shouldn't I just do that again? And this time I thought, why shouldn't I just buy a different brand? These ones look great. I'm going to go with a different type.
Yeah.
And these ones mimicked the breast.
Yep.
And at one point through the pregnancy, I was even thinking about breastfeeding through
lactation.
Yeah. Yes, that's a word. Like self-induced lactation.
Yep. Which I might add, a lot of women who are not the carrier, sometimes they do want to give it a go and see if their body can lactate through medication prescribed by the doctor. I didn't. For those of you that know me personally, I've got breasts that are big enough that there's no way I wanted to breastfeed, especially twins.
I didn't think about the size and what would happen.
Hello,
I was just...
it would just kill me. I'd end up with mastitis for sure, and with twins, that was the last thing I wanted because But yeah, so we were bottle fed. But I do know a lot of people that do want to breastfeed. But then there's no guarantee anyway that, I know there's this thing in popular culture that people say breast is best. Mm-mm. I disagree with that. I think fed is best. As long as your baby is getting fed, it doesn't matter the method. Because even with us, with the girls being bottle fed, they struggled at some points too to have enough milk that they required. You're not having that issue at all, I must say.
I'm not, no. I think the reason why I did, and I know we're jumping from one thing to another, but...
We're both tired. I'm jet-lagged. You're delirious. I could see it in your face.
I'm just, I think halfway through... like the pregnancy, and because I am studying to be a doula and it's all interesting to me, and I just wanted to feel as close as possible to this pregnancy that I could in any way. It's not just about whether you speak to your surrogate or not. It's about feeling, this is my last, I know I probably won't go forward and have a third child. So I just want to feel like, if I'm having a pregnancy, I want it to feel as authentic as possible. So one of the things I wanted to contemplate was breastfeeding my baby. And even if it was only breastfeeding for a week or 2 weeks and just giving that first little bit of breast milk, and if it came from me, I just thought, is it something I need to explore? Breastfeeding, I probably, if I did do everything right, I might be able to actually create some breast milk. So I was thinking about it.
Yep.
But then I thought, I have a lot going on mentally. I have a lot going on, not like in a bad way, but I have to support clients because I am still working while I'm here.
Yeah.
I also need to support myself, my daughter and everyone else. And I just think that with, taking, I don't want to become emotional because I know that when you start to do that to your body, it can make you a little bit emotional.
Sure. And you don't know what is going to happen as well with your body. As I said before, a lot of women end up with mastitis, or they end up with not being, the child not being able to latch. There's a lot of different things with breastfeeding. But it's a personal choice. Everyone's different.
Yeah. And I'm going through with Annabelle's birth, and she was formula fed, and I don't have any problem with feeding my baby on formula the whole way through. So then we went back to that idea, and then I found these bottles which represented like the boob, the teat of it, and they were convenient for travel, and I thought these answered all of my problems, all my questions I was asking myself. So I thought, why not? And they also
So if anyone would like a set of these bottles, feel free to reach out and Anita will give you a discounted price because these bottles have never been used.
So then they had the toddler, they had like a combination set, which were also good for, as like I thought, a sippy cup for on the plane for Annabelle.
Okay.
You know, when they give you your
Yeah.
I thought, I don't want her to spill anything. So I thought that's going to be great for Annabelle, even though she's out of sippy cups, it'll be good for travel.
Yeah.
So anyway.
Is he snoring?
I don't know. My husband's fallen asleep listening to us. Oh, you're yawning. Sorry, I'll close the
I
door.
thought he was snoring.
We'll have to edit that bit.
No, I'm not editing it.
So, what I thought was, I bought these bottles and then my daughter was not latching the first night when I had her, which was really stressful in the apartment at the hospital. So she wasn't even taking 5 meals.
Poor darling.
She only had to drink 10 meals the first
Yep.
day. But she wasn't taking anything. So the nurses gave her the first feed.
Yep.
And they said they didn't communicate with me that there was no problems, I suppose. And like I had it in my room, but nobody, unless I press a button.
And I know we're not going to talk about the birth story on this episode, but by this stage, just tell everybody how long you were awake for.
Oh.
It was a long birth.
Yeah, because
I was getting live updates.
Before that we had the clinic appointment at the hospital. Then the next day she was admitted. So let's say it went for 2 days. You know, imagine not sleeping anyway leading up to the birth. So, you know, often it's 3 to 4 days by the time this happens. And then I was awake. Like, you don't get to go and rest.
Yeah.
You don't really get to go and rest and say, okay, I'm going to sleep now. My baby's been born.
You've got the adrenaline pumping. Yeah. Of course, you've got a 4-year-old to look after at the same time. You are worried about your surrogate. You want to make sure that she's okay.
They had a bit of sleep though.
Oh, did they?
Yeah, my husband and Annabelle, they fell asleep waiting for the news. They had gotten sick of waiting.
I have to tell everybody. I really have to tell everyone. So I was flying and on my way here, and at the time I was in Singapore, and I'd expected the baby to be born before I'd left Australia. Not by much, but just like around before I was leaving. Anyway, one of the messages that I got while I was in Singapore, you wouldn't even remember this unless you went back through our chat was, gotta go, can see the head. And I just laughed. And it was, I think there was another comment was like, she's pushing. And then the next comment was, gotta go, I can see the head.
Yeah.
So I was...
Was that when you were in Singapore?
Yeah, I was in Singapore.
Yeah, it was, when we talk about the birth, it's a full-on story. I've been in the room a little bit for my daughter's birth, but this was a whole thing.
Yeah. Because you were there from pretty much start to finish this time.
Yeah. I was like, it was a very unique experience. And not just for when I say, you know, seeing somebody birth, I actually knew the stages and I knew what we were going to go through because I've been studying it.
Yeah.
You know, part of what I want to be.
But to live it.
Yeah, to live it and to live it for your own child.
Yeah.
And to kind of coach another person through as I was sort of being her doula. Like she knew as well because she's my surrogate spoke English and she was actually, she's a very educated woman.
Yep.
And she had also prepared herself for the birth as though, you know, like for a natural birth.
Yep.
And she knew every stage as well. And she just kept saying to me, I'm so appreciative of your support. You know, she couldn't imagine doing it without me in the room.
Yeah.
And quite frankly, I couldn't imagine her kind of like us not joining forces.
Yeah.
It was really important that she had me in the room for her.
Yeah.
Because I only imagine that, you know, really The doctors, they're wonderful, don't get me wrong, but if you imagine somebody giving birth, okay, for your surrogate, it's really important because they're not going to have their family with them, supporting them.
Yeah.
Okay. We're talking about overseas surrogates.
Yeah.
Then
Just to remind everybody that Anita, this time they chose to have a travelling surrogate.
Mm-hmm. And even if it's a Georgian surrogate,
they're still on their own.
They're still on their own. They're not going to call their husband, to come and hold their hand or anything.
Well, my surrogate wasn't married, and she was on her own. And, as you know, we weren't there for the birth because we weren't allowed to be because of COVID.
Yes, that's, but this is a standard procedure. So surrogates will give birth and they will admit themselves in the morning, and they will be cared for. They will have they have a coordinator who they can call and who is available to support them, and that checks on them. And then they also have staff around. The nurses are there whenever they want, but that's just it. They're there outside the door, having somebody sit with them throughout the birth and support them and nurture them is like, that's the nurses are not there. They're there to medically check on them.
Yeah, of course.
Like a midwife, right?
But you know what's interesting too is that there is also, I think you've been so lucky with both your surrogates because, you have been able to be present for both births. But I know in a previous episode that I have done, the surrogate didn't want
That's true as well.
Her in the room.
Yep.
And even though they'd had this lovely relationship leading up to the birth. So, but that's a pretty rare situation, I must say, because I think at 98% of the time, surrogates are always happy to have the intended parents. The mother. Because, of course, men are not allowed into the birthing suite in Georgia.
My surrogate actually said that she was happy to have Anthony in the room during the labour. But they said no, because they don't allow it in this hospital in Georgia.
Well, we do know that there is another hospital that will allow it.
Yeah, it's quite rare though.
It's very rare.
Yeah, it is rare. And, she was so grateful and I was grateful. I'm like, I'm so grateful that you feel comfortable. Even you can connect with someone and bond via emails or WhatsApp. But when it comes down to it, when you do meet in person, whether it be one day or 2 weeks or however long it is that you get the opportunity beforehand, when you finally do arrive in the same country, it's a whole nother ball game again.
Yeah.
Okay. Bonding over communications back and forth and at different stages of a pregnancy journey takes a lot of work.
Yep.
Okay. You can bond within a week. You can bond within, 6 months or 9 months.
Yeah.
And it takes work again to keep that connection afterwards.
Of course.
But having somebody in the room during the labour is an intimate experience.
Yeah.
Because, they're getting their Gucci out. Yeah. And,
they're bearing their whole soul.
Yeah. So obviously to have the medical team and to do what they do, they're already prepared for that in there.
Of course, I do it day in, day out.
Yeah. And, they're going to be taking a lot of drugs as well. And you're going to see them at their worst.
Yep.
They can look their best, but they're going to be at their worst by the time the labour comes and everything. They always look fantastic. A couple of days before, I find surrogates just look beautiful.
Yeah.
But then, I'm sure that if I was in that state and having somebody come, you're vulnerable.
Of course.
Very vulnerable. And you have to have a lot of trust and be like having people there.
Yeah.
It's just really like I said, she was an amazing goddess.
Yes, these women are incredible. When I was at Chichava yesterday and I was in the surrogate area and there was quite a few surrogates waiting for their next checkup and stuff like that. You're right with what you said about glowing. They just look so good, and they really do take such good care of themselves.
I'm just a bit, I always look like I'm the pregnant one when I meet, is what I'm trying to say. Like,
Yeah.
you know, I always walk away thinking she's 9 months pregnant and I look like I, you know, need to do something about myself.
You're beautiful.
I don't, but yet, you know, I just don't understand how they always look beautiful and immaculate, you know?
Yeah.
And then there they are, and they'll recover beautiful, and I don't know if that's just, but they are.
Yeah.
They're just amazing. And yet, you know, to see what she put her body through, that is another conversation altogether. You know, when you're doing it for yourself, for your own family, but then to put your hand up and voluntarily do it and go through it all.
And this is, I think, a really important take about surrogates. And, you know, I know a lot of people have got not great feelings about overseas surrogacy, but, you know, it is, and you know, and people harp on about, you know, the Australian system and, oh, you know, it's so good. But you know what? Australian surrogates, overseas surrogates, they're still making a choice to help a family. And, you know, it doesn't matter, I don't think, oh, there she is, you know, what country. They're still, what they're doing is the greatest gift that you could ever possibly imagine. And I think it's irrelevant if it's, you know, an overseas agreement, because these women, you know, I believe they're sacrificing even more, especially the ones who are travelling, who have come to live in another country. To come and give the gift of life to somebody is the greatest gift that you can possibly give. And you know, 4 years on, I'm you know, looking forward to catching up with our surrogate this week as well, which is going to be nice.
Oh, you're going to see her?
Yeah. So that's really good. So I reckon we'll finish up this episode, and we'll talk about the birth story in the next episode. And I've got another one I'm going to do as well next week, and talk about everything that I'm seeing from a coordinator's point of view based overseas. So thanks for listening, everybody. Apologies if we both sound a little bit worse for wear in this episode, because we're just both exhausted. I'm exhausted, and I haven't even, you know, don't even have a newborn. I get to go and sleep in a hotel at night, and Anita's doing her 3-hour feeds at the moment.
Yeah, 3-hour feeds. It's taken me back a little bit. I forgot what I signed up for.
It's all worth it though when you see that little girl.
Actually, I'm feeling okay about the 3-hour feeds. So
I think you're doing really well.
Yeah. Much better than the first time. Although I know I'm older than the first time, but I'm taking it a lot.
You're a lot calmer, a lot more patient.
Yeah.
You know.
If you sleep at the same time.
Yeah,
it's working out well, because I'm sort of sleeping in between, and then I'm taking a longer nap and Anthony takes over.
So cheers to little Madison Rose, and cheers to Anita, the surrogacy person of the year. Saluti.
Thank you so much.